one more thing about me. I am the Met Council's worst nightmare. But none of that matters if we don't win. And I really believe that there's a lot to winning, but it boils down to two big things. Number one, we have to choose our strongest candidate. And number two, we have to have a message that captures the imagination of Minnesotans from every walk of life and every corner of this state. So let me start with the strongest candidate. And I will tell you, I have the utmost respect and admiration for both Philip and Mary, and will support either one of those if you pick them over me today. But I'm the only one in this race who can say that 900,000 Minnesotans voted for me just 3.5 years ago. I ran against a very popular incumbent and beat him by 10% with independents. I raised more money than Mark Dayton did in 2014 and have raised 3 times more than anyone else here today. I have far greater name recognition than anyone else seeking your endorsement, and I have a unique geographic background, the only one in the race who can compete everywhere in the state, not just in one area like the suburbs or greater Minnesota. Sandy and I spent the first half of our lives in northwestern Minnesota. And I did extremely well in 2014, but Donald Trump proved to me that we can blow the freaking roof off of greater Minnesota this fall if we do it right, and that's exactly what I intend to do. And by the way, having a Marine from Duluth help us kick some butt in the 8th Congressional District ain't gonna hurt either. Thank you. The suburbs, that's where I'm the strongest. I have won big over and over and over again in the suburbs. In my last race, I got 75% of the vote. Not in my town, but in 22 suburbs across Hennepin County. I know how to win big in the suburbs, and we will do it again this November. And then there's Minneapolis and St. Paul. And unlike the others in this race, I'm not going to show up for the first time there tomorrow to campaign. I've been in the heart of Minneapolis for 9 years, trying to solve some really difficult problems. And my message to those good people is really simple. The DFL has gotten fat off of your votes for 50 years, and they've done absolutely nothing to help you. I'm going to fight for you and your children, whether you are Republicans or not. We have to challenge DFL hypocrisy everywhere in the state. But along with picking the best candidate, we have to share a vision that just lights a fire under Minnesotans, and we have to give special attention to all those new voters that Donald Trump brought out in 2016. And I've had people say to me, Jeff, you can't win Trump voters, you're not angry enough. But Donald Trump didn't win because he was angry. He won because he gave hope to all the forgotten Americans who thought no one cared about them in government anymore. And there are a lot of forgotten Minnesotans too. I am a Norwegian Lutheran from northern Minnesota. Donald Trump is not. But we are both very direct, and we have a message, a vision that is very similar. So let me tell you what that vision is for me. I see a state where no one believes anymore that the system is rigged, where we have drained our own little swamp right here in Minnesota, where legislative sessions no longer end in midnight backroom deals, and where you have a governor that proudly vetoes every garbage omnibus bill that violates our Minnesota Constitution. Where we are demanding that our state agencies actually do serve the people. So, I intend to make bureaucrats spend a few days every year working for those whom they regulate. So, for example, the ones who devised the buffer strip law, they get to come to your farm and work for you, and you can explain to them directly how well their genius plan is actually panning out. And finally, I see a state where we are lifting up not the powerful, not the famous, but the everyday heroes in Minnesota. The ones who get up at 5 a.m. every day and work the assembly line or drive the truck or serve and protect us. The ones who raise their kids right and pay their taxes and volunteer their time. Those are the people I grew up with. Those are the people who make Minnesota so extraordinary. And I want to lead a state where those Minnesotans have replaced the CEOs and the lobbyists as the ones we listen to when we're making tough decisions. I want to lead a state where we have given the government of Minnesota back to the hardworking, forgotten Minnesotans who have made this place so amazing. That's where I want to take Minnesota, and I know together we can get there. I hope to earn your support today, and I thank you for everything you do.